friends, today on At Laura's Table, I'd like to share with you a recipe for a lamb meatball with tzatziki sauce. You can use this recipe for a lunch, a dinner, or even an appetizer. It's simple and quick, and I have a few tips to make them super moist. Let's get started. We want to mix together the ingredients for our ground lamb mixture before we actually add it to the ground lamb itself. And I'm going to tell you why. If you just straight add in your breadcrumbs, your shallots, and all these ingredients, your breadcrumbs can make your ground lamb kind of dry. And what I found is if I allow the breadcrumbs to soak up a little bit of milk for about 10 minutes, it adds so much moisture to your meatballs. So we're going to do that. Here I have a 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of whole milk. If you don't have whole milk, that's fine. Use what you have at home. I'm going to add 1 egg. See how pretty that yolk is? Those are those happy eggs, and they make me happy. This is a 1/4 cup of diced, minced, however small you can get it, shallot. Put that in there. This is 2 tablespoons of minced cilantro. Yummy. Then here we have 1/8 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, because that's what I use in my kitchen, a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. So we're going to add that in there, and we're going to mix this up. Make sure you break the yolk on that egg. Can you see me mixing this up really good? I'll make sure everybody stays down in that breadcrumb mixture with the milk. That's nicely incorporated. And then we're going to set this aside for 10 minutes. I'm actually going to put a timer on my watch so we know when 10 minutes has passed. And we're going to go on to making some noise here, our Greek yogurt sauce, okay? Let's get on with that. So my grocery store didn't have a plain Greek yogurt container that had 8 ounces. This one is 5.3 ounces, so I got 2. So I'm gonna scoop this into my bowl. This is so delicious. And I'll have a little bit of this one left over, but that's okay. I don't need all of it. I need about half of it. We'll set that aside. Now I'm going to add my mint. In the summer, I have some of that growing outside, but we're not there yet. So there's my garlic. I'm going to chop that up really fine so it's evenly distributed throughout your sauce. And then your fresh lemon juice. Now see, this comes together really quickly. And once you get this mixed, you want to cover it with some plastic, or if you have a lid for your bowl, and set it in the refrigerator until you're ready to serve. But you can easily make these for an appetizer, for a party or something, and drizzle this over top once they're baked, or serve it on the side and just serve the meatballs with a little toothpick on top. So there it is, finished. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator, and when our time is up, we will get started on our meatballs. So let's put together our lamb meatballs. This is what the breadcrumb mixture looks like now. It's nice and moist. I like to use a fork to break up the lamb. The less you work this meat, the more moist and airy it's going to be. It's not going to be so dense. So I use the same fork I mixed that up with. This is all going to cook together, so it's less dishes. So I break this up some so all that mixture has some place to go. Then I dump all this mixture in here. There we go. And then I start just kind of raking this through my lamb. It's not science. We're just making a delicious treat. I'm trying to hold this bowl so you can see what I'm doing here a little bit better. But if I kind of chop through, well, there went some flying out of the bowl, through this meat, helps this incorporate better. And I'm going to use this cookie scoop to scoop my meatballs onto my pan. Helps us get a more uniform size. So that was a pound of ground lamb. You can easily double this recipe if you have a larger family. You want to have some leftovers, but that's well incorporated. Let's make some meatballs. I take this scoop and I run it along the side of the bowl to level it off. And yes, technically our meatballs have a flat side, but they will taste the same, and that's okay. You're welcome to roll these with your hands. I prefer to do it this way. I don't end up with this all over me, and they're a uniform size. Makes it go quick too. See how quickly those come out? Don't they look cute? When I get this pan filled, I'm gonna bake these in the oven for 15 minutes. We'll check the internal temperature to make sure that they're done cooking, and I'll show you the finished product. My pan of lamb meatballs is ready to go in the oven. We're gonna bake these for 15 minutes. Let's see how they turn out. So I want to show you how the meatballs turned out. I'm going to put a couple on a plate. We'll give them a taste. These recipes are easily doubled or tripled depending on the size of crowd you're trying to feed. And see, if you just add a little bit of this tzatziki right on top, these would make the cutest little appetizer with a little skewer or toothpick right in the top. Let's give this a taste. That's so good. And this tzatziki is so nice with that yogurt and fresh mint. This is delicious. My family likes to eat these in half of a pita with lettuce and the tzatziki sauce. I hope you try this recipe soon. Like my video, subscribe to my channel. Please feel free to share this with friends and family. And as always, the printable recipe is available over on the blog at www.atlarastable.com. I hope you guys have a great afternoon.